Hey guys, today is Wednesday, March 18th. It is 9:50 p.m. Andy is right here and Lucas is right here, but you can't see him. I tried to angle my camera to where you could, and it was very weird, but he is here. Here, I'll show you him for a second. There he is. So, today was insanely long. I woke up at like 9:30. I went to bed kind of early last night, earlier than I'm used to. I had my success coaching appointment at 11 a.m. and that went well. I talked to her about the kittens and how I like all of the problems with them and everything else. And then that appointment ran until 11:30. It went fine. I mostly just talked about the kittens and I talked about my plan for today, which originally was that I was going to go through all of my appointments, my 11 a.m., my 12 p.m., get out by 1, and then spend that hour hanging out with the kittens and cleaning up in there and getting the supplies that the rescue had given to me back together so that I could give it back to them with the kittens. And then after that, just make food and settle, and then have my health coaching at 4, and then after, at 4:30 p.m., start cleaning. That is not what happened. I did the worst possible outcome, which was I got out of success coaching and then I think I just idly piddled around. I don't really think I did anything for that half hour. But then I went into therapy and my therapist was late. He didn't get there until about 12:15, 12:20. It ended up running from 12:20 until 1:10, 1:15-ish. And I went in there and I spent a little bit of time with the kittens, mostly Penelope. Orville didn't want to come out. He was coming out a little bit, but he was mostly sniffing stuff. He wasn't really coming over to me. But Penelope was in my lap, in my face, rolling all over me, and it made me very sad because it almost felt like she was just screaming, crying, throwing up to not go anywhere. The lady got here at 2 p.m. I put this stuff on the porch for her to grab because I knew it was going to take me a minute to get out there because my seniors were not put away when she got here. So I brought Orville out first, and he was immediately making the saddest little boy sounds ever, and it was absolutely shredding me. And then same with Penelope. I brought her out second. I hugged her a little bit longer. Her and I have bonded a lot more than Orville and I. Mostly because Orville is very shy. He doesn't really come out very much. And Penelope would. Anytime I would go into that bedroom, Penelope would run up to me and she would rub all over me. So her and I got to bond a lot more over these last few days that I've had them. And so I hugged her a little extra longer and I brought her out, and she also went on to start making these sad little baby cries in her cage. And I felt so bad, but it isn't good for my cats. They are so much happier now that those two are gone. And as much as I wanted to keep both of them, really, I love both of them. It's just Penelope and I had bonded really quickly. It's really sad because I wish I could keep her so bad. But she's a little bully. She was bullying Andy and it was stressing him out to the point of getting sick, and I don't want that for him. These last few years of his little tiny baby life are supposed to be Andy. Sorry, he kind of jump scared me. He was breathing really shallow and I thought he was dead. Hi, baby. You scared me a little bit. Yeah, I kind of thought you died. I was about to say, I was like, this motherfucker goes and dies on me the day I give away the kitten that was bullying him that I loved so much. Anyway, can't have that for him. He deserves to have his last few years be good. And look how sweet he is. He's so happy that they're gone. He has not been this comfortable since I got them. And he hasn't bitten me all day. And, well, he hasn't bitten me since he's been out here. He's been on the porch since 2 p.m. And he was out there until about 6:30. He hasn't been biting me. And I'm going to need you to stop licking me. My hands are really cut up from cleaning all day. Both of them are so relaxed. Both of them are so much happier now that the kittens are gone. Anyway, so I put them on the porch. When the lady got here, I gave the kittens back. I cried in my room after she left. After she left, I just cleaned. I didn't even pause. I just immediately started cleaning. It took me 2 hours to clean that bedroom because of how dirty it was and how many different surfaces I needed to clean. And it took me about an hour to clean out here. And then I had my health coaching appointment at 4 p.m. and I just kind of like idly cleaned stuff while I was in that appointment. But I didn't really get much done. I just wiped a couple surfaces and sat down and relaxed for a minute. But I wiped down every single possible surface, every single possible thing in that bedroom was wiped down. Anything the kittens could have rubbed on, anything the kittens laid on, everything in that bedroom was wiped down. Then I stripped the bed. I washed my favorite sheets specifically. And then I vacuumed. I think I vacuumed in there like 4 fucking times. I vacuumed in there multiple times. And then I started cleaning out here. I wiped down surfaces. I Lysoled stuff. Washed pillows and pillowcases. Also kind of treated this as spring cleaning. This day's been very long. Are you gonna jump? Ooh. So I finished cleaning and then I went outside. I groomed the cats a little bit. And by groom the cats, I just wiped them down with a kitten wipe. And then I cleaned the porch. And by cleaning the porch, I just sprayed around with rubbing alcohol to get any kitten smell off of stuff. Because I was too tired at that point. I was like, I'm done. I don't want to be fucking out here anymore. Then I'm kind of praying that fleas aren't in my future. Because that would really suck. And I haven't really done anything to prevent that. Aside from, I do have Capstar still. The lady at the rescue did say I was allowed to keep the Capstar pills. So if I see any fleas on Lucas or Andy, they will be getting a Capstar, especially because their previous owner told me that they do fine with Capstar. Oh, when I was mopping, by the way, I was just like, I had just taken my trash out and I was inside and I was mopping and I was about to go take a shower. There was a little knock on my door. And so I was like, who the fuck is at my door? So I look at the peephole and it's 2 older women. One is like a 45-year-old woman. And one is like 50, 60, somewhere in there. And my first thought was, I'm going to get stabbed if I open this door. And then I was like, no, I'm not. And so I opened the door. I was already wearing a mask because I was cleaning. And I had just taken my trash out, so I was already masked up. And I opened the door like I crack it. I just crack it a little bit. Like I crack it enough to like my face. And I was like, hi. And they are just like, hi, they're here to invite you to, it was some church thing. I just stood there like a fucking idiot and let them tell me all about their church thing. And they said, it smells like you're cleaning in there. What are you using? Completely fucking blanked on the name. It's Pine Sol, if you're watching this for whatever reason. If you've stumbled across my video, nice church ladies that came to my door on March 18th about some, I don't even remember what it was, some dinner. It's Pine Sol. It was Pine Sol. It was not Fabuloso. And there's nothing wrong with Fabuloso. I like Pine Sol. I like the musky smell of Pine Sol. But anyway, to go back to what I was talking about, I let the cats in and I took a shower and Andy was just, because I had them locked in the bedroom because the bedroom had dried when I let them in, but the living room wasn't dry yet. So I shut the bedroom door. Then I let them in. And then Andy is just screaming at the bathroom door because I also closed the bathroom door to shower because I have all my dirty laundry in the shower. So I was like, it's fucking disgusting in there. I am not letting you wander around the dirty bathroom. It's not even dirty. It's just all the dirty laundry. And Andy is just fucking screaming. He's just upset that I'm not in there with him. And I finally come out and he's just so excited. He's so excited to be in that back bedroom because they haven't really been allowed back there because of the kittens. It's not that they weren't allowed back there, it's that they couldn't really go back there because the kittens were back there. I got dressed, I made them their own food, I made my own food, I ate dinner. Now I'm just chilling. I'm so fucking tired though. I'm exhausted. Today was so long. I cleaned for so long. I deep cleaned everything. But it is nice because tomorrow is my birthday and the apartment is clean for the most part. There's still some stuff that's a little bit fucked up and then I have laundry. I am no longer caught up with laundry. So I do in fact have laundry to do, but I'm not going to do it tomorrow. I don't really want to do any more tonight. My plan for tomorrow is to do absolutely fucking nothing. I am relaxing tomorrow. I'm chilling the fuck out tomorrow on my birthday. And I will resume my fuck shit, which is laundry, on Friday. I will say, by the way, before I end this clip, cats are finally going back in the bedroom. They initially weren't after I let them out of there. I do think they realize that it's just us in the house again. And I think know that they know that because they're very happy. They're very relaxed. They don't seem on edge anymore. They don't seem weird. But I think they're just nervous to be in the bedroom. I think that they're readjusting, so that's good at least. I look bald from this angle. You look like you're bald. You look like you're bald. Let me scrunch up your hair so you don't look so bald. You just look bald. Oh my god. Anyway, the angle that he's looking at me, he doesn't look bald right now, but the angle he had me at was very bald coated. But hi, Lucas. He just stared at me from the fridge. They're both very happy. They're both much more relaxed. It was definitely not a good idea to adopt kittens, at least with Andy. Lucas seems a lot more resilient than Andy does in terms of stress, but Andy's just not, he doesn't have it in him. And that's fine. I don't either. I get it. Shit sucks and stress is awful. But I'm gonna go. My best friend is yelling at me. She demands attention, and honestly, I don't blame her. But I'm gonna go. I will maybe hopefully talk to you guys tomorrow. I have a little bit of a birthday thing planned. Not really. I just bought cookies for my birthday. If for whatever reason I'm too anxious to eat the cookies, then I will have sorbet. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm tired. I want to just veg out and watch YouTube. And then I have to do that one load of laundry. But I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey y'all. Today is Monday, March 23rd. It is 7:48 p.m. and I'm recording from March 19th all the way through yesterday. So this shouldn't take very long because I didn't do very much these days. So March 19th was my birthday. I turned 29 and I took 0 vlog clips. I didn't take any videos about anything, but I had a pretty nice day. I didn't do anything. I rested all day. Though I did have to mop in the morning because I went to set up my robot vacuum and let it start going because it was like the first day without the kittens, and I was like, oh, this is going to be such a nice day because it's going to be my first normal day since the kittens got here. And I was on the phone with a friend and I noticed that my vacuum was really clogged up, so I was sitting in the living room like digging out everything, like digging out all cat litter, all dirt, all the whatever. And I'm getting up and I'm walking throughout the house while I'm doing this. And there was cat litter from the kittens in that. So I was tracking cat litter from the kittens all throughout my apartment, and guess who had to mop? Guess who had to mop on their birthday? It was me. I had to mop on my birthday. That sucked, but I didn't mop anything crazy. I just Swiffer mopped and then I went about my day. And then I had a committee meeting where we were going to be talking about Robert's Rules. And everybody agreed to not do Robert's Rules, which is great and awesome, but it was frustrating because we spent 35 minutes of our 60-minute meeting talking about why we shouldn't do Robert's Rules, why it's unfair to expect that much out of 2 volunteers, and why it wouldn't work for our specific meeting. And the person who had been pushing it was like, oh yeah, that's fine, we don't have to do it. And it was just really frustrating because we spent so much time on it and nobody seemed to care about Robert's Rules anymore. So we pretty much just wasted all that time, and we had to give out homework that mostly the chairs, are the ones that are going to have to deal with most of it. And then I edited the minutes for that committee meeting because they needed to be edited. And then I wrote up the agenda for our next meeting on April 2nd. And then I wrote up the anonymous minority opinion form. I sent out an email on the 19th at about 3 a.m. sending out the March 19th minutes. And then on the 20th, I sent out the agenda for the April 2nd meeting. And I have plans of sending another email either at the end of this week or at the beginning of next, before the meeting, just as like a general, hey, don't forget the meeting in a few days. So I didn't really do on the 20th, Friday, the 21st, or the 22nd, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I kept telling myself I was going to do stuff, but then I just I was just so tired, and I was like, I'm not going to force myself to do stuff. I'm exhausted. It's my birthday week. I'm just going to chill. And that's what I did. I just chilled out, and I think I deserve it. I think I deserved to just hang out and chill. I will say, however, I believe it was Sunday that decided to switch Instagram accounts. For context, I had an Instagram account with 20,000 followers, and over the last few months, I've noticed that my engagement is horrible. For example, I get like 80 to 150 likes per post, per stagnant post. And considering I have 20,000 followers, that's ridiculous. Especially when I get 3 to 5,000 views per stagnant post. And so people are just looking at and scrolling away. And then it's telling Instagram, the algorithm, to not push it further, which again is ridiculous. And so I moved accounts. I decided to finally leave my 20,000 follower account, and I moved accounts. And do you want to know how many followers followed me to my new account saying that I'm leaving my previous one, coming to this one? Less than 1.5% of my followers came to my account. Currently it's, I believe, a little bit over 250 people have followed me again. Again, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous considering I had 20,000 followers. And I've been crashing out a little bit about it because I thought I had so much more support. Especially because a lot of people on my last account were telling me, oh, it's just the algorithm. It's just the algorithm. The algorithm isn't showing us anything. We want to see your work so bad. And I started posting again, and people once again were not interacting. They weren't engaging. They weren't talking on my posts. And I will say I had a little bit of a freak out on my Instagram account. I had a little bit of a crash out, for lack of a better word. Here, let me see if I can pull it up. I think it's important to memorialize my crash out a little bit. This is when I realized that it's been a little over 24 hours at the time of posting this. And I said, it's quite literally insane that I had 20,000 followers and only less than 250 came over here, LMAO. At the time of posting this, I had 246 followers. I said, this is exactly what I meant. I did not have a lot of supporters over there, despite it looking like I did at first glance. Oh my God. I said, this is why I don't dog on big artists complaining about follower counts and or interaction/engagement. I know it's easy to think that they're being greedy or whatever because they have a large following, but engagement is key to a big following. Y'all saw my engagement over on my last account. It's really messed me up because I spent years trying to get a large following, and when I got it, it meant nothing because most of my posts went into the void or they were ignored by the people seeing them. So I had made a post, and it had about 300 views on it and like 40 likes. And it was setting me off because I was like, we're just doing this all over again, aren't we? Like, I just screamed and cried and cried and throwed up about and really wanting engagement, how I'm really wanting people to engage with my work. And I'm really upset with the fact that people aren't. And they were doing that again on my new account. And so I made a post. I sent my post to my story. And I said, go leave comments. Don't make me be cringe and ask 3 questions in the comments so y'all have a call to action. Post your thoughts and opinions. Read the caption. Tell me how you feel about my decision to go back as far as 2016 with my favorite art pieces. Talk to me. I'm posting on social media to be social. If I wanted to post my art into a void and not interact with the people looking at my work and thoughts, I'd pursue getting my work put in art galleries. Which is true. I would. If I didn't want to engage with people, I would pursue avenues that didn't require me to interact with my audience. And then I saw this reel that said how it feels to promote your art on social media, and it's that like jester meme where it's the jester dancing in front of the queen. And I said, yeah, quit making me practically beg for interaction. I left my 20,000 follower account to help with engagement, and half of that is on you guys. I hate to sound harsh, but I can only do so much in terms of engagement and interaction. I can't log into y'all's accounts and type comments for you. I don't know if it's because I'm intimidating or y'all just don't have anything to say, but I'd really like it if I didn't have to beg for interaction, especially considering I'm trying to start fresh on a new account to help with engagement. I'm doing everything I can. I cannot stress enough that I would not post on social media if I didn't want to be social. I want to engage with y'all, and I feel like I always try so hard to be social. Again, I'm grateful for the people who do engage with my work, but I'm very tired of seeing my work get ignored because people just scroll by. There's more. I freaked out for like an hour about this last night. And I said, and boy, this is how a lot of artists feel, but they won't say shit because they feel like they're being ungrateful. I get that it might come off that way, but I'm so exhausted of pretending this doesn't bother me. Genuinely, if I didn't want interaction or comments or conversations on my posts, I would have my own digital gallery, or I'd pursue getting my art in galleries, or I would just be creating comic books and art books rather than posting online where other people and artists can see it. And at this point, I was upset. So I said, I really don't care right now if I'm coming off really bitchy, because I'm upset. I'm really upset. 1.2% of my followers followed me to this account. I worked so hard for 20,000 followers, and I was so proud, and I felt so achieved, and it meant nothing. I have less than 250 followers within 24 hours of posting on my bigger account that I'm moving accounts. I have significantly less support than I thought I did, and it's really upsetting to see. I'm being so serious when I say that this is my last ditch effort at trying to get something going with social media before I give up the whole thing altogether and seek out other avenues. I don't know what else to do. I'm nearly fucking 30, and I've been posting online for 10 years with nothing to show for it. I can't keep barking up this tree if whenever I get a following, it goes nowhere because of shitty algorithms and antisocial followers. I'm just so tired of having to beg people to care about my work or about me. I've spent my whole life trying to be seen. And I feel like I felt like I had that with my large following, and now it just feels like I was lied to, which I would like to mention as like a side note right here. I know that nobody was lying to me, like, directly. Like, nobody was rubbing their hands, scheming against me, like, we want to follow her, then never interact with her and, like, screw her up. But it still feels like that. It doesn't feel like the lie, because I would rather people unfollow if they're not interested. If they don't want to see my content, I would much rather people unfollow me than keep following me despite not liking my work. I said, I'm tired, y'all. I don't want to hear y'all complaining about how all your favorite artists eventually quit, though, because I've never wanted to quit art more in my life than I do right now. It's so demotivating and demoralizing to realize how little support you actually have when you thought you had a lot more. And now I'm not even going to feel, and now I'm not even going to feel like any comments left are genuine because I've been throwing a fucking fit for 30 minutes about it. I just want people to care I just want people to care without me having to ask. I want people to like me and my art and the stuff that I make without having to ask or resort to memes or rage bait or talking about my trauma. Is that really so much to ask for? And then I said, logging off for the night, maybe I'll regret my crash out in the morning. I don't know. And then I kind of started elaborating more on it in the morning because people messaged me. Somebody said, I don't know if this will help, but I think it's incredibly valid to be upset with how things are going. You've worked for years for this, and you actually want to be social. Actually see other people talk and other people. You actually see other people and talk to other people, and you're not crazy for being upset. I hope more people follow you over here, and I hope more people interact consistently too. I love your art, and I sincerely hope that things start going your way soon. And I responded, I really appreciate this. I always feel I'm being toxic or whatever when I have my concerns about this stuff, but it's really upsetting. It's all I've really wanted out of social media. Even a small active community would be awesome, but it feels like I don't have that aside from 1 to 3 people who sometimes comment when they really like my art, or 5 to 6 when I complain about no community, and then they peter out. It's exhausting. Social interactions feel transactional these days. And I just want people to like and engage with my stuff because they like it, not because I beg or because they're expecting something from me in return. It's frustrating out here, and I really do appreciate this because while I still feel the way that I did last night, I'm embarrassed for crashing out about it though. And then I said, because a lot of people did in fact go comment on my posts, but it was all very genuine. It seemed very genuine. Like, it seemed like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, people were actually engaging with stuff. Like, they weren't just putting hearts or like being like, oh, this is so cool. Like, they were like reading my caption and interacting with me. And I posted, I said, I thought I'd feel like the comments would be disingenuous because I was freaking out last night, but now I'm in fact wagging my metaphorical tail over the comments left. And I said, I have an appointment right now, so I'll have them in a little bit. Thank you. And then somebody else made a post on my other account, and I posted about it. I didn't really crash out again after that, but I do still, while I am a little bit regretful in the way in which I handled that, I think it needed to be said. It's really frustrating on social media. And that was last night, that was Sunday, so, I mean, that's technically still within the vlog. But it is frustrating. Well, some of it was today, but whatever, it's fine. But it's really frustrating having to see, like, oh, and by the way, when the first post that I had about 300 something views. And then after I crashed the fuck out and people left comments, it boosted up overnight to over 500 something views. So it's like, and I've gotten followers from this post too now. So it's like, this is what I mean. The algorithm is directly correlated with you, the follower. It's not just the algorithm. The algorithm wants people to interact with your posts. Wants you watching this. They want you to interact with posts. And I'm pretty sure this is how it is across all social media. They want you to interact with posts. And then as more people interact with their post, as more people who are being shown this post are seeing it, it will then get pushed out to more people. So if you are somebody who doesn't who sees your favorite artist but you don't like, you don't comment, you don't save, you don't do any of that, it's telling the algorithm, hey, I don't like this. I don't care enough about this post or this creator to engage with this. So I don't want to see them anymore, and I don't want other people to see them either. And that's how the algorithm treats it, because nobody that cared about my work was seeing my art. The 3,000 to 5,000 people who were seeing my art were consistently people who did not care about what I was posting. Because when I posted my complaint about how on my 20,000 follower account, I suddenly got 500 likes on that post. I got like 30 comments about people saying, oh, this is the first I've seen you post in like months. I haven't seen anything from you in 6 months. I haven't seen anything from you in a year. I haven't seen anything from you in this amount of time. And I've missed your work. I don't know, like, I've just not seen you. Yeah, it's because people aren't engaging. And then, of course, after the post, none of my other posts got that interaction, because I'm not complaining. I'm saying I'm moving accounts. It's really frustrating. But I am very abruptly going to go. My stomach is being immediately weird. And maybe I'll talk about this more in my upcoming vlog for next week, because it's a lot. It's very heavy on my mind. And it's very frustrating because I love art. I want to create. I like social media. I like being social. I like talking about my art. I like telling people about my art. I like having people interact with my work. It's like, if I didn't, I wouldn't post on social media. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna go. I think I need to make dinner. I think that's why my stomach is being weird. I'm excited, kind of. I'm excited and very nervous for my future in art, because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I always, my whole life, I thought I would be able to make something out of my art, and it doesn't, I don't know if that's gonna happen anymore. And it's kind of scary, because I love art. I love creating. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. I love creating. I love making things, but I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere. And it's really sad, because that's been my dream, is to have it go somewhere. And it just feels like I've been on Instagram, oh my God, am I really gonna cry about this? It feels like I've been trying so hard to obtain some kind of following my entire adult life. I mean, I've been posting since late 2015, early 2016. And all I have to show for it is 259 people who followed me. Like, that's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. And I'm fed up. I'm so frustrated. I downloaded a bunch of social media apps, and I 100% plan on going and trying them out, seeing how they work. Actually, I think I might actually start that today. But I am going to go very quickly because my friend is calling me. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye.